This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Oh, hour number 4 with the great Mandy Campbell, head of content and, of course, brand here at Okcoin. Of course, we're coming to you live as we do every day from the Okcoin studios. Mandy, good morning to you. Good afternoon to some others out there, depending on the time zone. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having me. Great to be here.
It's great to have you. It's great to have you. So let me ask you something. So all of a sudden, the craziness going on right now with Bitcoin. Talk to me a little bit about it because, one of the things that I've talked about in our Okcoin crypto corners that we talk about is I'm not big on these parabolic runs
Mhm.
because usually there's always going to be a pullback and we're going to have some kind of a correction, as they say. But what I'm watching now, where it pops up to 38, 39, now it's going up to 41, 42, and it found a little bit of a home because it seems like 38, 39 has been kind of a threshold for it. But if it can go from one step to another and find a plateau there and find a home for a little while, then climb up again, I find that to be really healthy for Bitcoin right now. How do you view it?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many interesting things happening right now in the market, right? We've got, potentially a global conflict where Russia and Ukraine are pouring money into Bitcoin. We haven't really seen the price reflect some of these big things that are happening. Listen, I'm a hodler at the end of the day. Like, I am just going to buy more and more Bitcoin and hold it. And I know, that price is going up no matter what in the long term. So, I'm paying attention to a lot of what might affect the price, but at the end of the day, like, I'm just holding. So, yeah, we'll see what happens today too. I think there's going to be an interest rate announcement. We might see some action in the markets from that. But like I said, I just buy more and hold. I feel like I'm a little bit boring when it comes to my crypto portfolio, probably. You got to talk to Alex and our team about all of the altcoins and stuff that they're holding. But you were asking me, like, how am I feeling about some of the altcoins? I'm honestly like mostly Bitcoin and just holding. So
I'm with you there. Big altcoin. One of my favorite altcoins is Polygon. I think Polygon is
mm,
is going to be an absolute monster. But as for Bitcoin, you are so right. What's going on in Ukraine and Russia, which, by the way, before this conflict, Ukraine was already a country that was heavily invested in Bitcoin, is what people
yeah,
don't realize. Actually, they were one of the leading countries that were investing in Bitcoin, and I think it's a smart thing because there's a lot of countries that are struggling with their own currency. Hell, we're struggling with our own currency here in this country too, and
yeah.
so this is going to be the hedge against these kind of things happening down the line. I just think it takes a while for people to kind of get educated and realize what's actually happening. And Mandy, I'm so glad I have you on because women, we've gotten several women involved into crypto over the last year on our program. And that's another thing that I think is really growing. And I think women they tend to be the smarter of the two, whether guys want to admit it or not. And women probably have a little bit more patience than men too, which is very important when you say that magical word hodl, because men can be very impatient. And so we're also seeing the growth of women in crypto.
Yes, and that's actually a big reason why I decided to come work in crypto was I realized, there's a lot of things that have happened, especially in the last couple of years, that I think really call for a moment of everyone to find more economic empowerment, whatever that means for you. We saw a lot of moms drop out of the workforce during COVID. We saw a lot of democratization of financial services with services like Robinhood and more people coming into crypto and those services becoming more accessible to everyone. to me, it's really, really important that especially women do pay attention to what's happening in crypto and with Bitcoin right now, because, you know, Bitcoin has been around now for over 10 years. And over that time, we've had about 90% men. If you look across exchange data or engagement with Bitcoin or Ethereum or pretty much any coin, it's roughly 80 to 90% men. Obviously, we have a lot more women in this country and all over the world who could really benefit from a lot of this as, you know, a store of value, as also an opportunity to find wealth. So I was caught in this moment. I'd been leading content at GitHub for 4 years. I noticed that there was a lot of activity happening in cryptocurrency when it came to open source development. And a lot of people weren't talking about that at GitHub, but I was really interested in it. And so as I learned more, I realized what a kind of revolutionary technology Bitcoin was, and the impact that it's having all over the world, especially for when we talk about people who are like fighting totalitarian governments and able to actually store their wealth despite, you know, some of those pressures, using technologies like Bitcoin. To me, like, this is one of the biggest things that might ever happen to not only our generation, but possibly every generation. So I just couldn't be more excited to be part of, you know, working in crypto and furthering Bitcoin right now. And I hope that with some of the things that Okcoin is doing, with some of the things that I'm doing, we can bring more women into it and they can start to understand the opportunity there. I think part of what attracted me to Okcoin in particular was the fact that we have the only female CEO of any exchange, a lot of women who are in positions of leadership. And I think in order to make crypto and Bitcoin really talk to women, for instance, or groups that have been traditionally underserved in finance in the past, you need to also have women who are building behind the scenes. So that's really important to me. I'm just so excited to just be a part of furthering that a little bit.
You know what I find, the challenge that I find for you, the challenge I find for me, because obviously we know 95% of the world has no idea what crypto is. Half the world may have heard of Bitcoin, of course, but they don't really know what it is, right? And so we're so used to being dependent on banks and
Mhm.
all the other things that control our finances and decide the fate of our financial futures and things like that. And so people don't understand decentralized financing and how you can become your own bank, how you can accumulate your own wealth. And then instead of taking a loan from a bank, you could actually maybe take a loan off your Bitcoin for a lot less interest. And,
Mhm.
and so there are so many different ways that we are going to be able to benefit and also give ourselves the freedom that we did not have in the past. And simple things like, Mandy, you're out in Italy and I'm here in Miami, and you call me and say, "Oh, I lost my wallet, this, that. I'm in a really tough position. I only have my phone on me, this, that." No problem. Boom. I send you money right away in 2 seconds. In 2 seconds, you have your money. You can take care of it. You're good. In traditional financing, well, no, let me go to Western Union. Let me go to a bank who then wires it to another bank who sends it to an international bank who then gets it to you. And everybody took a piece of that. Meanwhile, I send it to you in seconds for pennies,
Mhm.
or maybe even free at times. It all depends what kind of services we're using. And so the freedom of it is what, and I think that's why El Salvador is so important. They've kind of, that president has made that country the guinea pigs, but in a way they're really not the guinea pigs. They're going to be the educators for
Mhm.
so many other countries that are going to say, "Hey, we're having the same financial issues. They did this and are solving their problems." All these little things, like, people don't realize what Cardano is going to be for the unbanked continent of Africa. You know what I mean? So this is the challenge that I see you have, the challenge that I have, those of us that are in it, trying to explain to people the positives and the freedoms that it creates for all of us.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm incredibly inspired seeing what's happening in El Salvador. We actually sent some of our team down there to capture stories of how people are using Bitcoin and the impact that it's making down there. And literally the people in El Salvador, they used to say, we have the American dream. Basically, the dream in El Salvador was to get out of El Salvador and come to the US and find some more opportunity in the US. Now they are saying we have the Salvadorian dream, or the Salvadoran dream. You know, that is they want to stay in their country now because they actually feel like there's an opportunity to have wealth in their own country. There was a woman who we talked to who's a barber, and she was giving a haircut to someone who was in our video, Enrique Barrios, who's wonderful. He's a dentist who's using Bitcoin to fund very necessary dental work for people down there. And she was saying, in the last 5 years, I've saved something like $3 in my account. She just hasn't been able to have any savings for her and her family. When the country brought Bitcoin there, she's been able to save like over $200, which there was a significant part of building a house for her. She was
Wow.
able to literally build a house there. And that, like, hearing stories like those is, it's just, I mean, there's nothing better, right? Like it's having such a huge impact for so many people. Certainly there's going to be a lot of things that need to be figured out. I mean, this is all very unprecedented, but I'm really excited for a lot of people there that are finding new opportunities, and at least they see that now, you know, and they're not just trying to leave the country.
I'm with you there. Mandy
Yeah.
Campbell, by the way, head of content and brand for Okcoin, joining us here on the program. And one of the things that I got turned on to Okcoin way before, we started building a relationship with Okcoin, and obviously you guys becoming one of our sponsors and our studio sponsor. But one of the things that attracted me to Okcoin was how easy it is to use, and then also the staking opportunities that you have, and we'll get to that in a minute. But since we've been, partnered here in the last couple of months, you have added so many coins. I believe I counted last night, you're up to 64 coins already at this point, which is incredibly impressive already. So talk to us a little bit about, you're obviously, we talked to Alex and head of listings
Mhm.
and your head of content. So how do you guys go about deciding what coins you're going to add? And then part B of that question, is there a plan, a target of how many more coins you'll add this year? And part C, please add theta. Please add theta. Please add theta.
I
All right.
will pass that along to Alex. He's definitely the guy to talk to about that one.
Theta.
Yeah.
Theta.
I'll let him know. Yeah, so we've added a lot. I would say we really started ramping things up toward the middle of last year, and we've just been continuing to sprint on adding more and more. I mean, Alex works closely with our compliance and legal teams to go through a really rigorous process to actually vet everything that ends up on Okcoin. So that's one thing that's really, I think, a huge benefit for our customers is we go through this process of making sure this coin that exists today isn't going to just disappear tomorrow.
Let me
Um,
let me let me define that for you. They don't
yeah,
want to end up with crap coins, okay? And I'm using the word crap because I don't want to use the other word that we normally use for those
right.
kind of coins. So that's what Alex is trying to avoid. Go
Right.
ahead.
Or, you know, if you hear about getting rugged, right? Like we're trying to avoid that. So we've added some really great coins. We've added city coins. We've got Miami coin and New York coin now. We have a lot of interesting stuff happening in the Stacks ecosystem. We had a Deco. We are working closely with Stacks. We actually just announced there's kind of a pledge fund where a lot of different investment groups came together to say, hey, we really believe in the Stacks ecosystem. We think, you know, more innovation on top of Bitcoin is going to be really important and really big moving forward. So let's put some money behind some of these groups that are innovating on top of Bitcoin. So I think we're
By
going to
the
see a
way,
lot more.
I don't want to. I hate to interrupt you, but I want to build on something right there that you said, because a lot of us on this show and a lot of people followed me in this. We got into Miami Coin and we staked it at 400%, at 200 and something percent. Now it's like at 145. But it dropped a lot now. And one of the things that I've tried to explain to people, and obviously we're not making the same kind of interest money that we were going to make when it was up in the cent and a half, 2 cent, 3 cent range and those kind of things. But here's the thing. Once Bitcoin had the dip, Stacks was going to have the dip, and then the city coins were going to have the dip because it's all built on the Bitcoin network. Once Bitcoin starts to explode again, that will then affect Stacks, and that will affect the city coins, and then we'll see that domino effect, and I would see those coins, expect them to start going back up again. Do you agree with that?
I 100% agree with that. I think Bitcoin is kind of the OG and will probably affect the prices of pretty much every coin. But yeah, I mean, obviously Stacks is really closely tied to Bitcoin. It's, essentially everything on Stacks settles on the Bitcoin chain. So yes, I think we've been seeing a little bit of a pullback. I think, the prices will go back up, and Stacks and also city coins, because they're built on top of Stacks, will, I think, absolutely benefit from that. And you mentioned it's super easy to stake with Okcoin. So
Yes.
you purchase Miami coin, literally in the click of a button, you can stake it, and then it just gets deposited directly to the protocol, which means you're actually earning staking rewards. So you're earning additional Miami coin, or actually with Miami coin, you're earning stacks, which you can then stake or stack in order to get a Bitcoin yield, which is pretty cool.
10%. 10%. They pay on Stack.
Yep.
By the way, right now, New York City coin is at 265%. Miami coin's at 145. And by the way, we know Bitcoin is the OG and it drives everything except Terra lately. Somehow or another, Terra just has detached itself from everybody and has taken off. And Okcoin not only added Terra, but they added Terra USD. And you can actually get it just under 20% APY.
Yeah,
So that's pretty
UST.
awesome. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that was, I think, new as of last week. You can
Yes.
now stake UST, which is pretty great. 20%, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, and there's going to be more happening on Earn, which is our staking product, which we don't take any fees for. You're just directly staking with the protocol. I think in terms of your question of, more coins, we are always looking for more interesting kind of utility when it comes to new assets. I think you'll continue to see more first to list tokens with us. And Alex and his team are working super hard to bring more to Okcoin. So I don't think you'll see us slowing down anytime soon. In fact, we have a new one launching today. I think it's launching right now, called Cadena or Cadena.
Oh,
I'm not sure.
are you serious? Did you guys get Cadena?
We did. Yeah, that's launching today. Hopefully I'm not
I've
leaking
been trying to
alpha
get
right now.
Cadena came up with a way to add more transactions in the way that they built their it's not like parachain, but it's kind of that. And they're a New York company. They're a US company. And so, wow, I did not know you guys added Cadena. That was one of the ones that I wanted you guys to add. That is awesome. Okay.
Adding today. So I'm not 100% sure if it's live for trading. It should
Not
be.
Yet. Not yet. I was going to buy some right now. I was going to buy some.
Well,
I like Cadena. I'm a
very
big fan
soon.
of
Yeah. So that's new on Okcoin. And that's a first to list in the US too. I guess I didn't know it was based in New York. There aren't that many crypto companies based in New York.
Yeah. They're a blockchain. They're a blockchain. They're a group of people, Americans, that put it together. I'm really excited for them. I'm rooting for them, obviously, because they're a US company too, on top of all of that. So I love that. And I was never I'm not worried about the US government, because I told Alex the other day this. He didn't realize this. Do you know who Biden's biggest donor is?
Who?
Sam Friedman, the guy from FTX currency.
Oh, interesting. Huh. I didn't know that. Yeah.
All
I
that
mean,
FUD that's out
scam.
there, all that FUD that's out there, oh my god, they're gonna do this, they're gonna do that. They're not gonna do anything, dude, please. Come
Well, the executive
on.
order looked, I think, a lot better than people were thinking it would.
I never worried about it.
It it
Never
seemed
worried
like a
about
big, yeah, like a sigh of relief, but also like that was always going to be the executive order. I'm not sure why there was so much, fear about
it.
that.
Because the problem we run into, Mandy, is okay, you and I live this stuff. Okay. Obviously, you live it because you work it. I'm a
Mhm.
monster crypto guy that I love. I'm thoroughly into this thing. And so the problem is we have a lot of people that are writing and talking about something they know nothing about. And so then they're putting out a whole bunch of FUD. And then the people that also, since most of the world doesn't really know about it, then they read it and then they believe it. And then they don't do their homework. And then on
Yeah.
this show, I try to do my homework and I try to open people's eyes up about those kind of things. And it's like, okay, so I kept telling everybody on my show, Biden's biggest donor is a crypto billionaire. How the hell's he going to go after crypto? He's not. There's no way. Plus, we're Americans, dude. We normally jump on innovation. We have to be the leaders of this. This is what we do.
Yeah.
Space, technology, whatever it is. We're the leaders of the world when it comes to this. Let's go, man. This is something we need to be on top of. By the way, before I
Yeah.
let you go, let's talk about Okcoin commitment, crypto for all. And today, Okcoin, okay or not okay? So folks can take advantage of that stuff. Let's tell them a little bit about those programs.
Yeah. So we had a really exciting announcement last week. We kind of built on an announcement that we made in December where we said, "Hey, we would like to really focus on welcoming more women to crypto. We are willing to put $1 million, but honestly, I think it will be more than that at the end of the day. $1 million over the next 3 years to hopefully make our platform 50% women, which is ambitious. As I said at the beginning of your show, if you look across different data sets in crypto, it's usually 80 to 90% men.
Yeah.
So we are not only talking about that, but trying to put some action behind it. So we're putting money behind it. We just launched a grant program last week. If you go to okcoin.com/crypto for all, it explains the goals of the program. Essentially, we are supporting projects that are helping women, people of color, people who have been kind of underserved by traditional finance, through learning. So basically, anyone who's creating educational content for those groups, through connecting. So if you're helping, potentially those groups find jobs in the crypto ecosystem, and then building. So people who are within those groups or helping those groups actually build as developers or entrepreneurs, then we are interested in talking to you because we think this is really important work. We think more has to be done to support those kinds of projects. So
Mhm.
as kind of a first step, we've partnered with Randy Zuckerberg, with a lot of women in Web3, with Natalie Brunell, Maliha from an NFT project called Women Rise, Mai from an NFT project called Curious Addies. We're bringing some partners together who really believe in this future where crypto is a lot more, the people who are using it are a lot more diverse. We're supporting
Mhm.
more of those types of projects, bringing hopefully some of these underserved groups in. And to start out with that group of partners, we are offering grants to projects that fit those goals. So if
Awesome.
any projects out there, let us know. Just go to okcoin.com/crypto for all.
By the way,
Um,
that's what I love about what Charles Hodgkins and Cardano are doing in Africa. Because
yeah.
talk about folks that are completely unbanked, and then also Cardano will be part of their educational system. The kids, they don't have textbooks, they don't have the resources. So now the blockchain will be the
Mhm.
place where the kids can now go to get their lessons and learn and everything, get educated. And these are resources that that continent did not have. And of
Mhm.
course, it's great business, it's smart business by Cardano, but it's also providing an incredible service for a continent that did not have this right now, and they can bring them to the forefront, bring them to the 21st century when it comes to banking and finances and those kind of things. So we
Yeah.
love that because crypto can do things that traditional financing has completely failed so many others.
Absolutely. And we actually last week announced our two first projects that we're supporting as part of that initiative. And that is Bitcoin Ladies, which is helping women understand Bitcoin. Just basically, it's led by Sarah Satoshi. She's creating a publication and kind of a career network, like specifically for women. And Anita Posh is doing a really interesting project called Bitcoin for Fairness, where she's traveling around to Africa, to parts of the Middle East, to Venezuela and parts of Latin America. And she is helping educate people about Bitcoin in markets and countries that really need it right now. So proud to support those projects. And again, if you know of more projects, we would love to support those too that kind of fit those goals. So
there you go. Good stuff. All right.
yeah.
So go to Okcoin. And by the way, we have a link below. We can share some free Bitcoin. Okcoin's giving out some free Bitcoin. We can share $20 of Bitcoin. We got the link below there. Mandy Campbell, kind enough to join us on the program, the head of content and brand. Mandy, thank you for taking some time. Look forward to doing it again next month. We'll have some fun, and hopefully maybe this is a sign of the market finally turning the corner. And I know the Feds are going to, finish off talking today, but I think we kind of already figured out that 0.25% increase. Everything's kind of been figured out already. So I think the markets can kind of move on unless there's any real drastic news today. Maybe, just maybe, this is the moment where we have the rebound. Who knows?
Yeah, I hope so. Oh, and also okcoin.com/okay not okay is another way to get some free Bitcoin potentially. So we're giving $3,000 in Bitcoin to 4 different winners.
Yeah,
So check out that campaign too. It's super easy. You just have to tweet about it, but you can also vote and let us know. It's a site where you can share your thoughts about some somewhat polarizing topics, and it's all in the celebration of it's okay to be different, which we think is an important thing to say these days.
There you go. And by the way, I tweeted it out, so you can go to my Twitter, Big O Show, and you can check it out there. All right.
So you're in the running for that $3,000 in Bitcoin then.
Yeah, I'm not an employee, so I'm eligible, right?
You're eligible, yeah.
I'm eligible. I'm not an employee, so there you go. All right, it's a beautiful thing. Hey, I ended up getting an NFT from Star Atlas, and by the way, this dip has been so beautiful to take advantage of Star Atlas. I have loaded up on this dip here, so in a year from now, year and a half from now, when Star Atlas is going, those of us that hodled and stayed patient, we're good. Although, Mandy, we need staking for Star Atlas. That's my other. Okay, I need Theta, and now I need Star Atlas staking. Can you make that happen for me?
I wish I could, but I will let Alex and his team know. He's the one who can hopefully make that
Alex
happen.
out in 2 weeks, and we'll put his feet to the fire too to get some Star Atlas staking there. But I do have my the only NFT I own is a Star Atlas NFT. So hey,
I have to say, I'm 90% Bitcoin, but I've gotten deep down the rabbit hole of NFTs. So maybe we can talk about that the next time.
You need to educate. No, my problem is I'm not educated on NFTs. I don't know. I don't feel good. I'm not comfortable.
It's a wild world. It's a wild world, but I'm glad that you got your Star Atlas one. I think the art was really, really cool for that one.
Yeah, it was. I totally agree. Mandy, thank you so much. We'll talk again next month. I appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You got it. There you go. Mandy Campbell, head of content and brand from Okcoin. Love it. All right.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.